1 week in Poland. News, comments, events, everything you need to know about the country you live in. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of 1 Week in Poland, the information service made in IMI Radio, which brings you through the most important news of the last 7 days. My name is Fabio Turco, I am an Italian journalist living and working in Warsaw. And as usual, for the people who listen to this broadcast for the first time, a couple of words before we start about the format. The first part of the show is dedicated to the general news of the week, what's happened in Poland in the last 7 days. Yes, the most important news, and I do it through an accurate selection from the main media outlets. The second part is more focused on the news about Warsaw, and here I give you some advices about how you can enjoy your weekend in the capital city. So, if you are ready, I'm ready. I guess we can start with the first news. The first news is about the visit of the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk in Moldova, in the capital city Chisinau, a couple of days ago. Mr. Donald Tusk said? Well, Mr. Donald Tusk said he assured that under Poland's presidency of the European Union Council that it will happen in the first 6 months of 2025, the accession process for Moldova and of course also for Ukraine will proceed with full commitment and its pace will significantly increase. During his speech, the Polish leader emphasized that Poland will work intensively on meeting the standards required for Moldova's European Union membership, focusing on a practical approach to the requirements rather than creating obstacles. Political decisions have already been made. Today, no serious politician in Europe questions the need for enlargement to include countries that, at Poland's initiative, became part of the Eastern Partnership, including Moldova and Ukraine. Politically, enlargement is already a reality, Tusk stated. Head of the Polish government also noted that joining the European Union requires rigorous work and meeting numerous standards, not just signing documents. Poland intends to assist Moldova in combating corruption and building high living standards, drawing on its experiences with previous accessions like Ukraine. It was clear to me that the Polish Prime Minister should visit Chisinau not only to uphold the friendship between our nations, but also to demonstrate the full unity of Moldova and Poland, especially in the context of the war in Ukraine, Tusk said during the press conference. Then he added, I am proud that Poland has become one of Moldova's main trading partners. It required goodwill from both sides to talk about our countries being closely linked economically. We will certainly continue to work hard on this. Moldovan Prime Minister Dorin Recean expressed gratitude for Poland's support, highlighting that European Union integration will bring Moldova's social and economic development, as well as benefits from the single market. And now we change news, we go to Poland. The Polish government will extend the operation of the buffer zone at the country's border with Belarus by 90 more days, the Interior Minister has said. Poland established a 60-kilometer buffer zone on its border with Belarus in mid-June to stem the inflow of irregular migrants from Belarus. Probably you remember we spoke about that in an episode of 1 Week in Poland in June. At the Interior Ministry, we are finalizing work on a new regulation on the matter, which will come into force on September 11, Tomasz Siemioniak said in the southeastern city of Kielce on Tuesday. The zone has brought concrete good results, he continued. It is the first of all targeting human traffickers who pick up people smuggled across the border. Siemioniak also said that the border fence that Poland had built over recent years would be further strengthened, adding that a new solution will prevent easy border crossing. The previous government introduced the buffer zone for the first time in 2021 after Belarus decided to create immigration pressure on the European Union eastern borders in retaliation for sanctions that Brussels imposed on Minsk. The Belarusian strongman Alexander Lukashenko invited thousands of mostly Middle Eastern and African migrants to his country under the false promise of easy access to the European Union across the Polish and Lithuanian borders. Warsaw Regional Court has issued a European arrest warrant for Michał K., the former president of Poland's government strategic reserve agency, accused of exceeding his powers for financial gain. The court reported on Monday that it issued an European arrest warrant covering the UK and Northern Ireland. Earlier, in order to initiate a search for the suspects, prosecutor applied to a district court in Katowice, in the south of Poland, for a preventive measure in the form of temporary arrest. At issue is a case widely reported by Polish media concerning cooperation between RARS, Government Strategic Reserve Agency, headed by Michał K., with the Red is Bad patriotic clothing company owned by Paweł Sz. The news website Onet was the first to reveal the scandal. In one of its publications, Onet wrote that the previous Law and Justice government entered into a peculiar alliance with Paweł Sz, aimed at embezzling public money at a scale not seen before. According to the website, the businessman became a provider of things of all sorts, from safety gear during the pandemic to power generators. Onet said that throughout 3 years, transfers amounting to 500 million zloty, around 117 million euro, were made to Sz's bank account, and the contracts between him and RARS, headed by K, were signed without conducting a tender. According to a prosecutor's office, the investigation concerns procurements organized by RARS between February 23, 2021 and November 27, 2023. Investigators believe that these procurements were set up to benefit Michał K. among others. In the course of the investigation concerning irregularities in RARS, the prosecutors drew up charges of taking part in an organized criminal group, exceeding powers and failing to fulfill duties to gain financial benefits against both K and Sz. They face up to 10 years in prison. Now, let's see. Of course, there will be an investigation, there will be a process, and let's see how it ends. You probably know, for sure, you know that the last week in Ukraine were conducted by Russian army heavy attacks on the most of the country. One of these attacks hit the city of Lviv. 7 people, including a 7-year-old girl, were killed and 63 others were injured, and not to mention the big attack on Poltava, but especially in Lviv, you know, is on the western part of Ukraine. It's usually it's less hit by Russian attacks. So this attack created impression and emotion, especially in Poland, and Poland immediately appealed to and promised to help Ukraine to rebuild the building damage. So the statement by Paweł Kowal, head of the Polish Council for Cooperation with Ukraine, he said, in the coming days we will develop a support plan as an immediate response to recent events. According to the Polonica Institute, the Russian attack on Lviv resulted in a damage to the city's historic buildings, including heritage sites located within the buffer zone of the UNESCO World Heritage Area. Around 70 historic architectural structures built before 1939 were damaged to varying degrees. Among the damaged buildings are not only historic townhouses, but also the villa of Ludwig Heller, founder of the Lviv Philharmonic and director of the Municipal Theatre of the city, as well as the villa of industrialist Josef Franz. We are in constant contact with the authorities of Lviv. We want to assess the extent of the damage, but this will only be possible after the rescue and firefighting operation are completed. We are ready to act, but any assistance will be planned once the full scope of the damage and needs is determined. Despite these tragic events, we will continue the conservation projects we have started. We are not leaving Ukraine, stated Sylvia Tritz, acting director of the National Institute of Polish Cultural Heritage Abroad, Polonica. Poland has experts from various fields who can support Ukraine rebuilding damaged sites and medical infrastructure. Work is ongoing on an energy support plan and the delivery of medical equipment to Kharkiv, and Poland continues to cooperate with Ukraine despite potential changes in its government. We are finishing work on energy support. Parts for power plant destroyed by Russian airstrikes will be sent to Ukraine soon, confirmed Kowal in his comments released to press Polish agency PAP. The head of the Polish Council for Cooperation with Ukraine emphasized that Putin is not seeking peace. His actions are aimed at destroying infrastructure and intimidating the population, making it essential for the West to increase its efforts. And now we approach to the cultural page. We approach with a sweet news this week. I mean sweet news because on September 4 in Warsaw at the Wedel factory in the Praga district opened a new chocolate museum, the new chocolate museum. According to the museum curator Marta Marocka, in the chocolate museum of Warsaw, visitors will be able to watch chocolate production through glass partitions separating the museum from the factory lines. You will be able to see where cocoa plants grow, how the beans are fermented and dried, she said. And then she added, we need a series of different processes and time to be able to try chocolate in the form of the bars we know. And we want visitors to take part in this process. So, for example, some of the machines that are part of the chocolate production process are interactive, and we can operate them to see how to clean the beans, how to grind them. The museum spans 8,000 square meters across several floors, each offering interactive zones that depict various stages of chocolate production. A virtual guide will accompany visitors through these zones. The museum promises a hands-on experience, including the chance to taste chocolate treats during tours and to design personalized packaging for Wedel's famous Ptasie Mleczko, soft marshmallow candies. Marocka highlighted the museum's broad appeal, ensuring an engaging experience for all ages. We can't imagine inviting people to a chocolate factory and not offering them a taste, she said. underscoring the inclusive, educational, and sensory-rich environment. The museum's collection includes rare artifacts such as a 1930 paperweight depicting a boy on a zebra, a well-known symbol of the company, and a figurine from the same era designed by puppeteer Edward Manicius. These pieces represent the deep-rooted history of the Wedel brand and its cultural impact in Warsaw. To build on that heritage, the company is reviving a pre-war tradition by opening more of its popular chocolate drinking establishments. Wedel's commitment to expansion and innovation is evidenced by its recent 200 million zloty investment project, which includes the museum itself as well as enhancement to the factory's production capabilities. The new facility features a 6-floor observation deck offering panoramic views of Warsaw and Lake Kamionkowskie, enriching the visitor experience. The museum design and multimedia content were developed by WWAA and the Luna Park Motion Arts Collective, with visual identity consulting from Studio Homework and Patrick Harjay, reflecting modern design interpretation while paying homage to Wedel's heritage. Wedel has been producing chocolates, cakes and snacks since 1851. The company has a long history of community engagement and social innovation. For a time, a subsidiary of Cadbury, is now owned by South Korean confectionery maker Lotte. Ticket sales for the Wedel Chocolate Factory Museum are you can buy them online and also on site. The museum also features a chocolate drink hall and a souvenir shop with exclusive items, ensuring that each visitor leaves with a memorable and sweet souvenir from their visit. So this news you can find also on the English section of Polskie Radio, the Polish radio. And now the sport, the page dedicated to the sport. As you know, we are during the time of Paralympic Games. There are good news. Polish tennis table player Patryk Chojnowski secured his third gold medal at Paralympics Games, while Łukasz Ciszek took home the silver medal in archery. Patryk Chojnowski won the gold medal in men's single class MS10 at the Games, defeating China's Hao Lian 3-2 in a dramatic final. This is third Paralympic gold medal following his previous golds in London in 2012 and Tokyo 2021, and a silver medal in Rio de Janeiro 2016. The achievements continue as Łukasz Ciszek secured a silver medal in archery at the Paralympic Games, though he lost in the final to Harvinder Singh 0-6. Earlier in the day, the Polish table tennis team celebrated with Natalia Parteka winning silver and Rafał Czuper advancing to the final. Poland has so far won a total of 14 medals at this year edition of Paralympic Games. The competition will continue until Sunday. So a big bravo, congratulations to the Polish Paralympic delegation in Paris. And now, not a good news, we stay on the sport because Poland's Iga Świątek, number one in the ranking WTA, has bowed out of the US Open Grand Slam tennis tournament, of course, in New York after being outplayed by home favorite Jessica Pegula in the quarterfinals of the women's singles. The Polish world number one was stunned 2-6, 4-6 by the 6th seeded American, who was more consistent, served better, and made fewer mistakes. The Polish tennis ace, meanwhile, committed 41 unforced errors, nearly twice as many as her opponent. She was sent packing at Flushing Meadows in 1 hour and 28 minutes. Iga Świątek, I want to remember, won US Open in 2022. So now the final of US Open will be played between Jessica Pegula and the Belarusian Arina Sabalenka. And this was the last news of the first part of 1 week in Poland, but I want to remember that after the musical break we continue. So stay with us, don't change, don't turn off the radio, enjoy the music, and see you in a short time.
Czterech kółek czas. My jesteśmy też nie gorsze, bo lubimy wodne sporty. A tu nagle pan wicherek mówi tak. Czy to pogoda lub deszcz, urwanie chmury lub nie, wiatr może zepsuć nam dzień. A kto to wie? Jutro pogoda lub deszcz, parasol lepiej więc mieć, bo na południu zachmurzenie zwiększa się. Jutro pogoda lub deszcz, może być cieplej lub nie, nadchodzą wyże, lecz niż nad krajem śpi. A jeśli niż się zbudzi, to bardzo źle, bo wtedy będzie burza albo nie. Kochany pan profesor, narty z Anglii już zamówił nawet wyż. Lokujemy się w pociągu, a wraz z nami setki osób, aż tu ktoś nastawia radio i już brzmi. Jutro pogoda lub deszcz, roztopy powódź czy śnieg, czy 0 stopni, czy mróz, nadejdzie już. Jutro pogoda lub deszcz, parasol lepiej więc mieć, bo na południu zachmurzenie zwiększa się. Jutro pogoda lub deszcz, może być cieplej lub nie, nadchodzą wyże, lecz niż nad krajem śpi. A jeśli niż się zbudzi, to bardzo źle, to będą zaspy śnieżne albo nie. A jeśli niż się zbudzi, to będzie źle, bo my wolimy słońce albo nie. A jeśli niż się zbudzi, to nie tak źle, bo my wolimy deszcze albo nie.
Filipinki, jutro pogoda lub deszcz. We really hope that tomorrow we'll have good weather. Welcome back to the second part of 1 week in Poland, the information service by IMI Radio, which tells you what happened in Poland in the last 7 days and also gives you news and advices about the capital city. So we can starting this month. This is another news related to museum, but to a temporary exhibition. Because starting this month, Warsaw Soho Art Center in Minska Street in South Praga district has transformed into a portal to the past, hosting Titanic the Artifact exhibition, which features artifacts recovered from the famous ill-fated ship. This is also news you can find on the English section of Polish radio. Previously Previously shown at the Carnegie Science Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in United States, the exhibition has captured the hearts and minds of over 35 million viewers worldwide. Over 160 authentic artifacts recovered from the wreck of the Titanic, resting on the floor of the North Atlantic, are on display. Among them are priceless treasures never before seen in Europe, including the world's only preserved cherub, an angel figure that once adorned the Titanic elegant wooden staircase, and steel doors through which passengers boarded the ship, as described by exhibition representative Krzysztof Mendrala. We will discover structural elements of the ship as well as items related to the interiors, he said. There's tableware, cutlery, personal belongings of passengers, the most touching of which include beautiful jewelry, visiting cards, banknotes, and even perfumes that, if opened today, would still carry their scent. Visitors can also see authentic large sections of the ship, including the bridge, telegraph, and an officer cabin window. He added, "We have on display the doors from the reception room D, which were open in Southampton, England, for first-class passengers to board Titanic. The same doors were later opened during the evacuation by Second Officer Charles Lichtholler, who thought that people would more willingly board lifeboats from these open doors on a lower deck than from a higher one. Thus, Titanic sank with open doors." On April 10, 1912, the RMS Titanic embarked on its maiden voyage from Southampton, England to New York. As the most luxurious and technologically advanced ship of its time, it had garnered fame even before its departure. However, tragedy struck shortly before midnight on April 14, 1912, when the Titanic collided with an iceberg and sank some 3 hours later, claiming nearly 1,500 lives. After its sinking, the ship settled at a depth of 3,800 meters, around 400 nautical miles southeast of Newfoundland. The Warsaw exhibition, open until the end of December, offers a true glimpse into this famous piece of maritime history. So I enjoy to visit this exhibition. I will do for sure. Now we can switch to the advices for the weekend. I have 2 advices for you, 2 musical advices, and they are both for today. The first one, if you like genre metal or black metal, at Club Hydrozagatka in 11 listopada is always quite difficult to tell in English this address, actually, because it's 11 November number 22 is the civic address, because 11 November, as you probably know, is the day of the Independence Day in Poland, and the street is dedicated to this event. So, starting at 7 p.m. today, the concert of liturgy, we can read on the presentation. Hella Hunt Hendricks and her band Liturgy create highly addictive, meditative black metal. For liturgy, however, the surface is never enough. Transcendental black metal, the term with which HHH categorizes the sound, is a highly philosophical manifesto about religion and art. There is no doubt that a few artists look at black metal with such ambition and analytical insight. Albums such as Aesthetica, The Ark Work, both featuring drummer Greg Fox, and HAQQ are among some of the best and most important music of the last decade. According to Reading Festival Roadburn, where Liturgy played 2 shows in 2022. Their latest album, 93-696, is a mix of fearless and defiant complex riffs, chaotic drum fury, crazy electronics, all intelligently interwoven with thrilling screams. And today there is another important musical event in Warsaw. Actually, it is in the opposite side of the capital city, specifically in the district of Bemowo, and I'm speaking about the concert of the band Tinariwen. Tinariwen are the pioneers of African blues, and they return to Poland after a while. Tinariwen is a Malian music band. They were founded in 1982 in a Tuareg rebel camp in Libya. They actively support the Saharian people long struggle for an independent state by touring regularly in European and North American countries. So that's why some of the band's songs were written in French. The themes explored in Tinariwen's composition touch on important social problems of today's Tuaregs related to the abandonment of the nomadic lifestyle with mass migration to the cities of the northern Sahel and the loss of the nomads' national identity. Local politician Iada Gali even sponsored the group in gratitude for its contribution to popularizing knowledge of Tuareg culture around the world. The formation performs the traditional music of the African Berbers despite the use of modern instruments. So the appointment is for today at Club Progressia, opening doors at 7 p.m, beginning of concert at 8 p.m. This was the last news, the last advice for this week. So the appointment is for in 7 days. Thank you for staying with us, but continue to stay with IMI Radio because we still have a long journey ahead of us. At 2 p.m. Natalice shooting backstage, and now I leave you with a song. The song for today is which song do I have? Oh yes, Lechjanerka, Rower, Bicycle. See you and enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.
Jadę na rowerze, słuchaj, do byle gdzie. Rower mam posłuchać, taki różowy jazz. Może byś tak, Damian, wpadł popedałować. Ubierz się w obcisłe, bo to warto mieć styl. I depniemy sobie od wsi do wsi. Może byś tak, Damian, wpadł popedałować. Flaga na maszt, Irak jest nasz, a rower jest wielce okej. Rower to jest świat. Dziki pies patolny, słuchaj, nie gadaj, że też tam jest, a potrafi się wściec. Otóż rower nas ocala jak grom petroladę. Zrób terroru, Damian, chyba mamy już dość. Deser się należy, bo od wojny masz szok. Może byś tak, Damian, wpadł popedałować. Flaga na maszt, rower jest nasz, a rower jest wielce okej. Rower to jest świat.
Ja jestem spoko kolarz i mam na imię Krzyż, a oto ludu wola, kul na maksa, full ekstra. Z powodu karambola popsunął mi się strój i nie wiem czemu wołam. Kul na maksa, full ekstra wołam.
Jadę na rower, rowerze, słuchaj, to byle gdzie. Rower mam posłuchaj w taki różowy jazz. Może byś tak, Damian, wpadł popedałować. Ubierz się w obcisłe, bo to warto mieć styl. I depniemy sobie ode wsi do de wsi. Może byś tak, Damian, wpadł popedałować. Flaga na maja.